ever wondered why some brands seem to resonate so well with the US Hispanic consumers while others struggle to make an impact? Today, we are diving into the world of bicultural marketing to uncover the secrets behind successfully reaching this diverse and influential audience. Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Jen Vasquez. I help hyper busy female service providers to use Pinterest to book more clients and increase their income and impact. And on this podcast, I get the glorious opportunity to host expert interviews on all things marketing. If marketing is something that you want to learn more about for your business, we would love for you to subscribe to our podcast or YouTube channel or both. Today, I'm so excited to be chatting with Jessie Fernández of Jessie Fernández Marketing Solutions. Jessie is a highly skilled marketing strategist with extensive experience working with brands across the United States, Europe, and Latin America. Jessie has a solid foundation in media, print, and television, and has been recognized as an award-winning professor of marketing at a university in Honduras. Currently, Jessie serves as the marketing project manager at Social Revolt Agency and also works as a marketing coach. Welcome, Jessie. So glad to have you here.
Thank you, Jen. I'm so excited to be sharing my experience with you and with your audience today.
I love to get started with this question and to find out really about the jobs that came before your business and what you're doing now. So, if you could share a little bit about the windy road that got you to the job that you're doing now.
Well, it has definitely been a windy road. I have almost 20 years of experience in marketing. Every time I look back, I'm like amazed of how fast time flies and how marketing has changed throughout the years. So my background, as you mentioned, is in traditional media. I started working at a local television station and then I moved to print. But it was those years before the social media boom where traditional media didn't knew what to do in the future, right? What to do with their lives. So now that I look back, that those were very interesting times. So in print, I worked at Forbes. I was the director of Forbes magazine for here for Honduras.
Wow.
An amazing, amazing brand. But then got the opportunity to work remotely for US based agencies. And that really changed my life in a way that gave me the opportunity to work with brands in the US, in Europe, and it opened up my mind on different ways of doing marketing. But then it came a period of my life that it said, well, it's time for you to go on your own, right? That all this knowledge needs to be passed on to those entrepreneurs, to those small businesses. So I started doing my own thing, and it has been growing a lot in the past 2 years. Right? There are three things, Jen, that I love in life. One is marketing. Second one is teaching marketing, and the last one is meeting people. So everything I do, it's based on these three pillars, and that has brought me here, right, to right now to speak with you about doing Hispanic marketing, especially in the state of California.
What are the key differences between marketing to US Hispanics and the general American population? And how do cultural nuances really impact that marketing strategy for those audiences?
Oh, wow, that's a really deep question. And I think we can get another different podcast just to discuss that one question. Uh, I think that the first big difference is the language, right? Many US Hispanics are bilingual, being Spanish the dominant language. So, as marketers, we need to consider the language choices of our advertising, right? Of the way that we are communicating. Another key difference is culture, the cultural values. Hispanics are it's really important for them, family, community, traditions. Their media habits are also different. They have preferences mostly on traditional channels depending on their age, and they have preferences on different type of content as well. And last but not least, definitely not least, it's brand loyalty. Hispanics tend to feel very connected to brands and to companies. So I think that those are most of the key differences. So regarding nuances, again, culture, symbols, right? And because we have a Hispanic customer that is very loyal to brands, it's important to be authentic on our message. And as marketers and companies, we need to consider how diverse US Hispanics are and respect their traditions.
Yes, that's brilliant. And yes, I know it's sort of surface level. It would be a whole masterclass, I'm sure. But I love to at least dip our toe in it so that our audience
Mhm.
can hear these differences and nuances. What are some common mistakes that companies make when specifically trying to reach the US Hispanic customers?
Well, the biggest mistake is thinking that all US Hispanics are the same, right? We have different groups inside the US Hispanic community. The biggest groups are the Mexicans or the ones of Mexican descent, and it's the most important group. But it's very different to speak to the Mexican community than to the Cuban community or to the Venezuelan community that has been growing a lot in the past few years. So we don't need to treat US Hispanics as the same. Then and this second one comes from this first one. We do a lot of literal translations without any cultural context when we develop our advertising. I have had experiences when they said, okay, I need you to check this copy. I did it on Google Translate. I mean, that's not the way it works, right? That's not the way it works.
We see that too, right? Because if someone sends us a message in Spanish, I have taken it and used Google Translator and it's all jumbled up, which is exactly the same thing. I'm assuming that happens, and it can seem disrespectful, I think.
Yes, yes, but it's also because we are thinking that everything is the same, that you just need to translate it and you don't go deeper on it, right? And again, it's different to speak to Mexicans, to Venezuelans, to Cubans. And I had the experience working with a radio in LA. We developed this script and everything, and it had the word way, right? That Mexicans use it a lot. So it was there. I double checked it and said this is good to go. So I sent it to the radio for production. Then the radio comes back to me and said, Jessie, we need to take this word out. I'm like, why? I mean, I grew up with a lot of Mexican culture around me. I did all the research. I mean, that's good to go. Yeah, but people here in the LA area are not going to like it and are going to feel offended.
Oh,
And my reaction
almost like
was,
you're talking down to somebody, maybe.
yes, yes. But my reaction, Jan, I trust my vendor. Said, okay, let's take it out. What word do you suggest? This one? Okay. And
Smart.
we did the change and the campaign just went live. But the interesting part is that we launched that same campaign in El Paso, in Texas, and we didn't make that change and we didn't have any problems, right?
Oh,
And
yes,
we're
because state by
speaking to
state it's different.
it's state, but state is different. So yes, yes, Hispanics are different, but they're different also state by state. So what works in California might not work in Miami, for example.
Oh,
In
yeah,
Texas.
we are way
And
different.
and that's also the beauty of it,
Yes.
right? And that's the beauty of marketing, that not every campaign is the same, and the difference on target markets makes it, I mean, makes you become a better marketer, right? Because you need to A B test, you need to explore, you need to organize and plan based on that target.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and dive a little bit deeper. What strategies can companies use to effectively reach, let's say, first generation immigrants
Mhm.
versus second generation Hispanics?
Yeah, yeah.
And how
First
can
of
brands
all,
like
yeah.
address the diverse needs, right?
Yes. First of all, to let the audience know what a first generation
Yes.
Hispanic is versus a second generation
Thank
Hispanic.
you.
So the first generation are the immigrants, someone that moved into the US and started this acculturization process. right? What is the acculturation process? Yes, I am from Mexico, but I need to learn US culture to live in the US. That's called the acculturation process. So the first generation are the immigrants, right? The second generation are the sons of, or daughters of these immigrants that were born in the US.
That this is all they know.
This is all they know. And then we have a third generation, right? So that's how we divide them. So the first generation, they are very culturally connected to their home countries, and there's a lot of nostalgia in them. One business that is very successful, well, I am based in Honduras for everyone to know, is selling Honduran products in the US because these products target the first generation, right? First generation Hispanics have a lot of nostalgia and want a little piece of their country
Oh,
over there,
yeah.
right? Yes. And also, since they're Spanish dominant or have limited English skills, we will need to focus on Spanish language content, right? And focus also on value. This will be like the basic first generation strategies. And also, they're very traditional media focused. They're the ones that watch television for the novela and radio and all this stuff. Then the second generation, they embrace their bicultural identity. I mean, they're proud of their parents and where they came from, right?
Yes.
And of all that story. But they also have a switch on their brains and they speak Spanglish, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, so we will need to do bilingual advertising using Spanglish that I've seen that before, or work two ways. Um,
Yes.
they also highlight the modern interpretations of their cultural traditions. They want to learn about their home countries. They usually travel, but they want to see these traditions on a modern way. And they're more acculturalized than their parents since they were born there. So those are like the two segments and the basic strategies that we use when doing US Hispanic marketing. So, to your audience, maybe you have a product that targets US Hispanics, or maybe you're a company outside the US that wants to reach the US Hispanic market. So, the first thing you need to define is, am I targeting first generation or second generation? Because this is going to be like the base of how you're going to work.
Yes, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Are there any sort of emerging trends in bicultural marketing that brands should be aware of, or any new developments or shifts in customer behavior that marketers should track?
Yeah, I think that influencer marketing works pretty well with US Hispanics. And that is because they're very loyal to their brands. They're looking for representation. They're always looking for representation. And well, influencer marketing is the new word of mouth,
Mhm.
right? So they see someone as themselves in their own language, showcasing a product. So that brings up a lot of trust during the process, right? And they are slowly going into the digital aspect of it,
Yeah.
right? And also cost related marketing, right? Hispanics love to help each other in their community, and especially first generations. I want to help the others that just came here, something like that. So if you have social responsibility programs, you can emphasize on that, add it into your communication, and that's gonna help you. Also, data. Always, regardless of what you're doing, read the data and try to personalize your message. Regarding consumer behavior, it has changed a lot, especially after the pandemic. But we see a US Hispanic that is more educated now, right?
Yes.
Because also that's something that's really part of our culture, right? You need to study, you need your degree, so that's really important for us. So the level of education is higher right now than it was 15 or 20 years ago.
Yes.
And when you have a more educated target, there's more money. They have more money to spend.
Yes.
So if you're hearing me and you're not targeting the US Hispanic market,
Hello.
you need to shift. You need to shift your vision and see, because you might be missing a very
The
important niche
whole
there.
target demographic. Yes.
Yes, yes. And another thing are the expectations. What is an expectation? I mean, you buy something and you expect that service or that product to meet, or
Or
well,
exceed.
not to meet, or exceed, or I mean, it's not meet. I mean, you expect that product because they're giving you a promise, right? And that's very important for Hispanics. You cannot tell them, oh, I'm gonna give you a product that, I mean, you're gonna lose 10 pounds in 10 days, and that's not gonna happen. Then you're going to have a big reputation crisis, because we're also very good at creating brand reputation crisis. That's also part of our DNA. So you don't need to lie to your customer. That was it. Don't need
Actually,
to lie.
if you do, they're going to tell everyone they know not to buy it. So it will go
Yeah,
very
yeah,
badly for you marketing wise.
yes, and yeah, and that was the point, Jen. That
Yeah.
when I mentioned that Hispanics are experts in creating reputation crisis, because we express a lot, right? The data shows, and this is for normal people, that one person that is not satisfied will tell 11 other people that he's not satisfied. In Hispanic terms, double that or triple that. So you don't have to lie to any customer, but especially to the US Hispanic
Correct.
customer.
I mean, let's blanket statement you shouldn't lie at all in marketing if
At
you
all.
want to have a
At
good
all.
business. But yes, I totally agree with you. How can companies build and maintain long-term relationships with US Hispanic consumers beyond marketing campaigns, and kind of any best practices that would really foster brand identity, loyalty within that community?
First, you need to get involved with the community, right? If your Hispanic community is in LA, what are they doing? Go to the events, get into the Facebook groups, get yourself into the conversations, sponsor what they like, right? If where you are, there's this, I don't know, a Hispanic event just for the small town you're in, then go and sponsor it, right? That's the visibility you need more than any big advertising campaign. Also, develop loyalty programs. I mean, that's a really good
Oh.
strategy as well. Try to create content that educates.
Mm,
Right? Education is a very important content pillar. We usually go into the engagement content pillar, but we need to educate, right? And
yes.
in this educational content, showcase the Hispanics. And another important part of this puzzle is the Hispanic owned businesses and entrepreneurs. We don't need to leave them out of the equation.
Yes.
Go and collaborate with them, do something with them. And in your company, there needs to be a Hispanic representation, especially in leadership and management, right? So go and hire Hispanics. We are an amazing workforce and we need our opportunity out there.
Yes. And I will also add, because I'm married into a Hispanic family, that the same is true for the opposite. Like, if you don't like something, you're going to tell like everybody you know, including people in the grocery store. But also, if you love something, you are going to reach out to everybody you know just to tell them how great you found it. I feel like that demographic in particular is very much like a village, a community, and they want everyone to know when something's good or bad. So that would really foster brand loyalty, is if you,
It will.
it does what you say it does, or as promised with your service or what have you. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, it definitely. And also another thing that I don't want to leave out
Yeah.
is to create products especially for the US Hispanic market.
Mm.
And one example is Disney. When Disney launched Encanto, I don't know if some of you
Yes,
have
I love
watched.
Encanto.
Yes, I think that's like the best example of a product created especially for one target market
So,
that resonated with the target market, and it had all this elements of things that really connected emotionally. So yes, we need to create products specifically for the US Hispanic market.
And let's be honest too, for any market that you're targeting, I have two grandbabies, and my daughter, when Encanto came out, she was so excited to share her and her dad's culture with her children. And so, like you were talking about the second generation wanting to really embrace their culture, I think that is so, so true.
Yeah, I mean, it is. We need to remember that sales right now, it's not just a transaction, right?
Correct.
Sales are driven a lot by emotion. I mean, that's like the first part. Even an apartment or a car are driven by emotion. You need to see yourself living there or driving it. So let's focus on what resonates to US Hispanics. And in September, from September 15th to October 15th, is Hispanic Heritage Month. So there's no better way
Or
to
time.
celebrate
Yes.
US Hispanics than getting involved into that community and working a US Hispanic marketing plan, right, for the following quarter. And yes, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity in the
Yeah.
US Hispanic market for
Untapped,
sure.
untapped, uncared about opportunity out there for sure.
Yes,
All right,
for
as
sure.
we are starting to wrap up, what are three things that you believe have truly helped you to grow your business?
The first one, I think it's networking. As I mentioned in the beginning of our conversation, I love meeting new people. So even if it's on LinkedIn, if it's on Lunch Club, I don't know if you guys know Lunch Club, but it's like LinkedIn 2.0,
Yes,
or just shooting a message to someone. I mean, you need to meet people. Sometimes we think that doing networking is just to get a job, but it's not like that. And it helps you become a better professional. Then another thing is overcome my own fears. Because, yes, I mean, you hear me saying, oh, go talk to everyone. But you might be saying, no, I cannot do that. I cannot put my brand out there. I cannot develop anything. So you need to overcome your fear. And if you need someone by your side, that can be a coworker, a therapist, your partner, a team that helps you overcome that fear. Something that I really thank the agency I work right now, Social Revolt, is that they support me a lot on what I do. And that's something that I'm gonna be forever, forever thankful. And the last one is that you need to develop your personal brand, or as someone that I spoke with a couple of weeks ago says, a tailored brand guide, right? That you need to become a guide to all the people. And that is because of your experience. So if you want to call it develop a personal brand or any other name, but you need to get your brand out there.
yes.
So start posting, start connecting, don't be afraid. Ask yourself what happens if I don't do it.
Yeah. And what are you fearful of? Think of the worst thing, and is it really that bad? We get
Yeah,
embarrassed. Okay, so what? We'll live.
yeah, yeah. But sometimes you get overcome by fear, and after you do the thing, you said, "Oh, that wasn't that hard."
No.
I mean, why was I thinking about it like for 3 days?
Yeah, exactly.
But as
Stressing over it.
Yeah, but as you are overcoming small fears, you get more confident on what you do.
Exactly.
And if you already have 10 years of experience, 5 years of experience, 2 years of experience, no one is going to take that away from you. If it was easy to start a business, everyone will do it,
Correct.
right? So you're already building something. So try to be consistent. I think that's another one I will add to the mix. If you can only post once a week, well, just post once a week. Make it a great post, right? And be consistent on it. Things will get easier on the way. So those are the things that work for me, and I really hope they work for your audience as well.
Yeah. Before we get to the gift that you are sharing with our audience, tell everyone about the services that you provide, just in case anyone listening is thinking, I totally need it, Jessie's help.
So, I am a marketing strategist and a brand success facilitator. I work with companies that want to reach different markets, if it's the US Hispanic market, or the Latin American market, or the US market as a whole. I develop and execute marketing strategies in English and in Spanish.
Um,
I'm also a college professor, and I also give marketing coaching sessions as well.
Excellent. And you are so thoughtful. Tell everybody what your freebie is and how it can help them.
For everyone in the audience, you will get access to my community for free. And there's a masterclass there that I know that will really help you get brand visibility and make your business better.
I love that. Thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for your valuable time and all of your amazing advice today. If you guys have found some ideas or some tips, or you're thinking differently about marketing, we would love for you to leave a review. Now, go out there and do something good for your business, like snagging Jessie's gift and then taking action on it, right? Just getting education isn't going to get you anywhere. It's that taking action in your business from that education that's actually going to grow your business. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.